Every night at 8 p.m., North Koreans sit down to watch KCTV's main news broadcast. And if you pay attention to the world news segment, you'll notice something immediately. Almost every story is about disaster. Floods sweeping through towns, cars crashing on highways, factories exploding, or protests turning violent. It's a constant stream of chaos. Nothing about normal life, nothing about progress, only danger. This pattern isn't random, it's intentional. KCTV's World News segment is designed to show the outside world as unstable, frightening, and collapsing. By selecting only negative stories, the broadcast creates a very specific impression that life beyond North Korea's borders is filled with risk. This isn't journalism. It's a narrative tool meant to shape how viewers understand the world. In this video, we're going to explore why KCTV's World News looks the way it does. We'll break down the formula behind these disaster-focused stories, the psychological tricks they rely on, and the political purpose they serve. By the end, you'll see how this nightly stream of negativity helps reinforce the regime's control and why millions of viewers come to believe that North Korea is the safest place on earth. Watch KCTV's World News segment for just a few days, and the pattern becomes obvious. A flood in Southeast Asia, a bus crash in South America, a factory explosion in Europe, a protest turning violent in the United States, a wildfire spreading across Australia, a crime story from Japan. It's a rotating cycle of global misfortune, repeated night after night. What's missing is just as important as what's shown. You never see stories about scientific breakthroughs, cultural achievements, medical advances, or everyday life in foreign countries. You never see anything that might suggest stability, prosperity, or normalcy. KCTV's World News is not a balanced look at the world. It's a highlight reel of everything going wrong. This selective framing is intentional. By showing only disasters, KCTV creates a distorted picture of the outside world. Viewers who have no access to alternative media come to believe that foreign countries are constantly in crisis. The message is simple. Look how dangerous it is out there. And once that idea takes hold, it becomes easier to justify isolation and control. Authoritarian governments often rely on a hostile world narrative. The idea is straightforward. If the outside world looks dangerous, then staying inside the country feels safe. This strategy helps justify strict borders, limited travel, and tight control over information. It also strengthens the image of the government as a protective force. KCTV's disaster-heavy world news plays directly into this narrative. When viewers see foreign societies portrayed as chaotic, unstable, and unpredictable, they naturally feel more secure at home. Closed borders seem protective. Restrictions feel necessary. The government appears to be shielding its people from a world filled with danger. This narrative isn't just propaganda, it's psychological architecture. By repeatedly showing foreign instability, KCTV reinforces the belief that North Korea is uniquely safe and stable. The contrast is intentional. Foreign chaos versus domestic calm. And when viewers accept this contrast, they become more loyal to the system that claims to protect them. There's a powerful psychological principle behind this approach, the availability heuristic. People judge danger based on what they see most often. If viewers see disaster after disaster on the news, they naturally conclude that the world is unsafe. Even if they have no direct experience, the repeated images shape their perception. This is fear conditioning. By constantly showing foreign chaos, KCTV trains viewers to associate the outside world with danger. Over time, this becomes instinctive. People don't question the narrative because it feels true. They've seen the disasters with their own eyes, even if those disasters are only a tiny part of global reality. The result is a mental map where danger is foreign and safety is domestic. Viewers come to believe that North Korea is the only stable place, not because of evidence, but because of repetition. This psychological effect is subtle but powerful. It shapes how people think without them ever realizing it. KCTV doesn't just show physical disasters. It also highlights moral collapse abroad, crime, drug use, riots, homelessness, corruption, and social inequality. These stories serve a second purpose, to contrast decadent capitalism with pure socialism. The message is clear. Foreign societies are selfish and broken. By focusing on moral decay, KCTV reinforces the idea that North Korea is not only safer, but morally superior. Foreign governments are portrayed as corrupt. Foreign people are shown as immoral or desperate. Capitalist societies are depicted as places where human dignity is lost. This contrast strengthens the ideological foundation of the regime. The moral framing is just as important as the disaster framing. Together, they create a picture of a world that is both dangerous and corrupt. In contrast, North Korea is shown as stable, united, and virtuous. This reinforces national pride and discourages interest in foreign cultures or lifestyles. Foreign media can be dangerous for the regime because it can inspire curiosity, reveal freedoms, and show prosperity. It can weaken ideology and encourage people to question their reality. So KCTV must make the outside world look undesirable. Negative news becomes a protective barrier against outside influence. If foreign societies seem frightening or immoral, people won't want to explore them. They won't seek outside information. They won't question the narrative they're given. This is why KCTV's World News is overwhelmingly negative. It's not just propaganda, it's inoculation against foreign ideas. By controlling how viewers perceive the outside world, the regime protects its own stability. Negative world news becomes a shield, blocking outside influence before it reaches the public. It keeps curiosity low and loyalty high. And for many viewers, it becomes the only reality they know. Isolation in North Korea isn't just political, it's psychological. If the world is shown as violent, unstable, and disease-ridden, then closed borders feel safe. Travel bans feel protective. Censorship feels responsible. Disaster-focused news makes isolation seem logical and necessary. Staying inside the country becomes patriotic. Avoiding foreign influence becomes a moral duty. The government's restrictions feel justified because they appear to shield people from danger. This emotional logic is reinforced every night through KCTV's World News segment. By shaping how viewers see the world, KCTV strengthens the regime's control. Isolation becomes a virtue, not a burden. And once people believe that the outside world is unsafe, they become more willing to accept limits on travel, communication, and information. Through KCTV's lens, the world is a place of constant danger and moral decay. Disasters never stop. Societies collapse. People suffer. Chaos reigns. This is the nightly picture painted for viewers who have no access to alternative sources of information. In contrast, North Korea is shown as safe, stable, and united. The country becomes the only calm place in a chaotic world. This contrast is intentional. It reinforces national pride and strengthens trust in the government's protective role. KCTV's World News isn't journalism. It's a curated nightmare designed to make North Korea look like the only sane place left. For millions of viewers, this nightly stream of disaster becomes their reality. A reality shaped not by truth, but by the stories they're allowed to see. This is the power of controlled media. It doesn't just inform, it defines reality. When every foreign story is negative, fear becomes familiar, and isolation feels justified. Understanding this pattern helps us see how propaganda works, not through loud slogans, but through quiet repetition. And for millions watching each night, that repetition becomes the world they believe in. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more deep dives into North Korea, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have ideas or topics you'd like us to explore next, leave a comment. Your suggestions inspire future videos.